to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll start our meeting with a report from our county attorney.
April 1st, please.
Oh, okay. April?
Thank you.
Sorry.
She has to get back to work.
Okay.
I just thought you guys might want to be aware, our software company, Fiddler, has notified us that they've started a lawsuit against a company that purchases information from several counties in Indiana and other states where they do business. And they came to notify us that we have been involved. Our information has been jeopardized. So Fiddler has filed a lawsuit against this company and just wanted us to know that we're part of that. We're not part of the lawsuit.
But they use our information without charge, is what? So,
They're paying a subscription fee, but they're not paying to view the copies.
So does our software provider, our vendor, do they, in our contract with them, are they responsible for that?
No. The company signed their own contract with us to view our information.
Okay, so,
They're paying the membership, $250 a month, to access the data.
so is our company, what they recover, will that, in this lawsuit, will it reimburse us, or do we have to file a separate lawsuit?
They've not indicated that we will get any reimbursement. Right now, the lawsuit is them, it's Fiddler against the company.
And how many other counties are there, April, involved in this?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm gonna say probably around 20, at least in Indiana.
Have you had any discussions with through your association?
Not yet.
Because I'm wondering if we can't use the Attorney General to represent all of the Indiana counties.
Yeah, I didn't know how that would go. That's why I wanted to submit it to you guys, see what you think, and specifically ask you what your professional opinion would be.
That's my opinion, is to first try out the Attorney General, because they're there to pursue civilly claims on behalf of counties, I think.
We were talking about the Indiana recorders have an attorney, Brian Burdick. I wasn't sure if that's how we should go.
I would say the Attorney General.
Okay.
But
Do we contact them as the
Yes.
recorders?
Yeah, and see if they would accept, their civil division should accept that. If they don't want to do it, then let me know, and maybe we can get together through the association attorney, and because he probably wouldn't want to do it himself, but maybe, I'm thinking if we have to proceed on behalf of all these different counties, if the county attorneys can kind of work together and have a cooperative effort, we can save everybody some money. So, those are my ideas.
Okay.
As I always do, I have to show my ignorance. So far, I've not heard what's wrong. I don't understand what the problem is.
It's kind of complicated, and they tried really hard not to use the word hack. Okay?
Yeah.
And they drew us a diagram to explain. This company subscribes just like any of you could, if you were title searchers, or anybody could, for that matter. You can purchase information from Laredo. Okay, that's a version of our software. Fiddler's the company, Laredo is the software.
Okay.
If they are accessing it correctly, they go through Laredo and all of their information can be documented. How many times they've been in there, how long they've been in there, and I have some of that information here. And then if they print any copies, they're supposed to pay $1 per page, per the recorder's statutes. They're accessing the information. They've signed a contract that they will pay us $250 a month to get into Laredo. What they're doing is, once they're in Laredo, they've purchased a sniffer, is what Fiddler called it. They've purchased a sniffer, so once they get in, it's not as easily documented what they're doing once they're in there. So they're basically paying $250 to get there, but trying to avoid paying the dollar per page. And the issue could be if they're not printing it out on paper, if they're downloading, then is that considered $1 per page? So that could be a little bit of a tricky question there too.
Are they, in the civil suit, are they seeking an injunction to stop the behavior? I assume they probably are.
That, they didn't really say anything on that either. The counties that I've talked to, we have canceled their subscription.
Oh, okay, that's,
So they can't, they're not supposed to be able to get in anymore.
okay, so then you would need an injunction then because you've got them stopped.
Okay. Based on the contract I had them sign, we thought it was not up to par what they were doing, so we canceled their subscription.
All right.
I mentioned it, is this the company that we let in and they work continue around the clock? Is this in your office?
No. Well, yes, but that had nothing to do with that. That was a company that Fiddler had subcontracted to take our microfilm copies of
Yeah.
our books and put them on our computer. So actually, this company could be obtaining those copies.
Okay,
That could be part of the copies that they're getting.
so you see no problem with the company that we left in here to do that?
Not in this legal issue, no.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, April.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, Dan?
Yeah, I got two things, both from the sheriff's department. Mark asked me about, they are now, where the state police is charging for a citizen to apply for handgun permit, and they are gonna require electronic submissions starting May 15th. The sheriff's department still rolls prints on a card the old-fashioned way. And so he says that after May 15th, we would have to tell an applicant for a handgun permit to go to a location that has the electronic equipment. Then they would return to the county to finish the application. The cost is $9.95 to get electronic prints. What Mark wants to do is purchase the electronic fingerprint equipment and then charge the applicant $10 to take their prints. He asked me, is charging for prints okay if we have an ordinance? My answer is yes, but you guys are the ones that determine whether you want to allow that to be done. So I'm bringing it up because he inquired. And so what he's really asking is, can I prepare an ordinance which allows him to charge a fee for doing and I don't know how much the electronic fingerprint equipment costs, and maybe a question you want to ask Mark. I didn't ask him that.
What was the $9.95 then?
If they go somewhere
If they
else.
go somewhere
Okay.
else, so he's telling us he's matching the cost, basically.
And saving them,
Yeah, saving them time.
yeah, okay, okay.
All right, so
Okay. Okay. The other question I'd ask him is, can this electronic fingerprint equipment then be used for normal booking and stuff? too?
yeah, well, I assume it can. That would make sense then, and then you'd get away from all that ink thing anyway, which is a terrible pain. Okay, and so then whenever we're done with that discussion, I have Mark also, and this is the second thing I have is, they want to charge this registration fee, which is common. A lot of the counties are doing this because the sexual offenders have to register, and then they have to register annually, and then they have to register if they re-register if they change their address. So this is basically a mirror image. I prepared this ordinance. This reflects what other counties are doing. Obviously, it needs to be published before you can act on it, but I thought I'd just go ahead and do this one, and so you guys could have it and look at it. But if you're okay with it, then the auditor, I think, can publish notice that at the next meeting, you have your, I guess, it'll be the first reading of it, you need 2 readings on the ordinance, right?
Not sure,
If
do we need
we-
2 readings on the ordinance? I don't think so.
Just one?
I just think it's just 1 reading is all we need.
Just 1 reading, okay. So this would be something you could act on at the next meeting if it's published. Notice is published.
This is sort of reacting, but I think it's necessary. I saw Allen County do this about a month ago.
Yeah,
And my first concern was, will these people flee the Allen County to adjoining counties?
mhm.
And so I think and this is almost word for word Allen County, so.
Well, the legislatures, I think, tighten this up a lot and put more requirements on the sheriff's department, and they're just really trying to recoup the time they spend in this, with this registry work and keeping it current for our citizens who obviously want to know where the sex offenders are living. So, it's a way to recoup money that's being lost in administrative time and secretarial time probably. So it's up to you guys, but legally this is what you would need to do what Mark's asking. So I assume he's gonna come before you and ask, but
Okay.
I just,
Who determines the percent that goes to the state?
I think that has to be by state statute, but I honestly, under Indiana Code 11-3321, but I think that's probably set by that statute, Tom. But I did not read the statute before I did this, so I'll go back this afternoon and read that and confirm
I
that.
mentioned IC 11-8-8-21 too,
Yeah.
but I didn't know who said that. Everything the county does, the state gets a little
Exactly,
statute.
exactly. Okay. So that's my report.
Okay, any questions for Dan? Tom?
I don't know, seems to me Go ahead if I
Fine.
come up with
No, I
it.
don't.
The only thing I have is, we've got this, for the fish hatchery building, you've got a chance to take a look at that.
I did, and it's appropriate. Even though it passes back to them automatically, I think they want us to clean up the record in the
I
recorder's
agree.
office, so I would say that's fine to sign that.
Okay.
That's great news.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, I don't. anything for-
Did you, what, discussion or motion?
No, well, no, nothing.
I was just gonna make a motion that we sign over the quick claim deed for the fish hatchery building back to them.
Okay, we got a motion?
I'm sorry, and I'm guessing that by fish hatchery building, that includes, maybe it should have been more appropriately, fish hatchery property.
It is the property, yes.
Fish hatchery property back to the DNR.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Discussion? All those in favor raise the right hand, opposed the same. Okay.